I just thought I'd talk about my original tractor cab for my Massey Ferguson 1725. I don't see a whole lot of videos on YouTube about them and some of the modifications that people do. You can see that it fits quite nicely. I've had it for about a year. This summer I do use it to mow, so this summer I took the doors off of it and just ran that way, and you can see it held up remarkably well. I did put some lights on there because I do snow blow with it. I got a rear mount snow blower, and the lights that are on there aren't the best. I did screw them into the hard top. Make sure you silicone because you don't want it to leak. And as we go along, I'll kind of show you the inside, I guess. We'll get in here out of the wind. So now we're inside. Some of the things I guess I've done is I went on Amazon, and this is actually a sealed switch unit for a boat. It comes pre-wired with all the switches. You just put the little decals on there. It does have a little phone charger. That voltage meter doesn't work. I ran a hot wire from the battery all the way up. I can't remember the gauge, but it's good enough. It doesn't get warm or anything. I did just pick a spot right there, and I grounded the wires to it. I did that, and then over here I had one of their original manual wiper blade handles where you had to run it by hand. I didn't really like that because it kept hanging down in the middle where you wanted to look all the time. So I once again went on Amazon and just found a cheap UTV side-by-side wiper and installed it. It did have its own switch on it, but I didn't want to use it because I had this, so I just rigged it up or wired it into there. And then I did go ahead and I think it was a $70 heater off of Amazon I went ahead and bought, and so far it seems like it works good. I've tried it in 30 degrees. We'll have to see how it does even colder, but I think it'll work great. I just went to the local hardware store and got some PVC so I could have a defroster up front, and then of course direct the air down where it's a lot cooler down low. And I left one open so it aimed at the back window because I do got a rear mount snowblower I'm using on this. And I just kind of ran the hose all the way down, and you can see I took some 3M and some insulation and just stuck it on the doors because, and anyhow I stuck some under the seat too, and mostly I wanted it on the ceiling because the heat, of course, rises and you don't want it all going up and out. And I did put a couple fans on here. I didn't really I really wanted to make sure that I could keep the windows defrosted because once you start heating up the cab, you're going to start getting snow sticking, especially if you're blowing and it's light and fluffy. So you're going to want to be able to do that. But anyway, we go from the heater unit, and it does have its own switch, but I also wired it in there so I can make sure it's not leaching power. And then you come down, and I just ran the hose down there, and I'll meet you on the outside. So I did run the hose down through there and all the way up, and that's 5/8 going into 5/16. That gives you that kicks out more heat than a guy knows what to do with. So it is big enough. And I just kind of tucked the hoses wherever I could find a room. It's probably a good thing they used 5/16 in here, or at least I did. And this is where I tied into. If you look on your little 1725, there should be a little 3-inch loop coming out of the thermostat housing into the pump. And the one on the left is the outlet, and the one on the right is the intake. And it does matter on some of these because you get a reduction in heat in the heater core if you do hook it up wrong. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. But anyway, works great. I guess if you have any other questions, feel free to ask.